quickest of quick updates. It is Tuesday. I'm about to shower after my workout and we're gonna go run some errands. But I did read yesterday 2 graphic novels for the PanelAthon, the 2 that I said I needed to get done before today because I am also heading to the library as part of my errands to return them. So I did not get Monstress read and I don't really have any interest in finishing it. So I'm probably gonna DNF it for now. I don't know, I know a lot of people love it, but it just wasn't my thing. So I did read Descender Volume 6 by Jeff Lemire. I believe this is the end of the Descender series because it paves the way for the companion series, which just started in April, called Ascender, and that was the best part of it in my opinion. I really like how they took it into a new series because this was getting a little old in terms of the storyline. Really happy with how it ended though. I've always been a big fan of the character Andy in this series, and he plays an important part. That doesn't ruin anything, I don't think, but that it's good. Cool. 4-star. I think the series was a pretty solid 4-star across the board for me. So if you like sci-fi and you like, I mean, the art is stunning. The art is some of my favorite art. Let's see if I can find something without spoiling anything. It's watercolor. Can you see? It's watercolor. And when I was in high school and an artist and I was gonna go to school for art, watercolor was kind of my favorite medium, and that is not what I ended up doing in life, obviously. Yes, so I really did like the art style, probably more than most things that I've seen art-wise. Anyway, I also read Dull Margaret, which is the one by the actor that plays Professor, I can't remember his name right now, in Harry Potter. I showed you in the vlog his picture, and he was also one of the maesters in Game of Thrones. I really want to remember his name. Professor Horace. Professor Horace. Well, anyway, he wrote this with whoever Dix is. I gave it 2 stars. It's supposed to be like kind of a horror graphic novel. It's based on a painting. I don't think it had really a point or anything. It was mostly art and not really story, and I read it in like 15 minutes, maybe tops, and I don't know. I don't think it's worth picking up. Sorry to the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, whose name I can't remember. That's my update. So I've got 2 down for the PanelAthon, and I started Death Note this morning, and I was reading Warcross last night since it's my ebook and I can read in bed when the baby falls asleep. So I'm about I'm a quarter of the way through, 25% through that, and I am enjoying it. And I think that I realized I really like the sci-fi trope of, like in Ready Player One too, where a character goes into a game. I really like that trope, and I didn't realize it till I was reading Warcross. So I have high hopes for Warcross, but I feel like my hopes that start out high in books this month have been shattered, so we'll see how it goes. In any case, shower time. I'll see you later. Bye. Hey guys, I haven't done an update, like a verbal update, in a few days because I'm still sick and I don't really feel like talking, but I've been reading a lot. As it is PanelAthon, I've been reading mostly graphic novels and manga, and I've got a lot to catch up on because I've read about 4 graphic novels / manga, and I finished a novel because I feel very behind in my TBR this month, and we're ending May quite soon. So let's get through real quick updates on graphic novels and manga. I read Blackbird Volume 1, the graphic novel, because Hoopla had it, which is Jesse's pick. I think that they're the only host that I will be reading pick-wise, because I've already read, obviously, Space Boy, and I cannot get my hands on Honey So Sweet, so Blackbird will be the only one. And I really loved it. I loved the art style, the bright, vivid colors. I think if you guys have been here, you know that vivid art styles in graphic novels is one of my favorite styles, and this did not let me down there. The story was a little bit choppy. I don't think it flowed very well, but I did like how the story was told for the most part, and I liked some of the twists that happen, and if I can get my hands on future volumes, I intend to continue reading it. That said, I did read the other Blackbird that I accidentally got thinking this is what Jesse intended, and I am so glad they did not intend it, because this was awful. This, I will never pick up another one. This is basically about a girl who can see, I mean, the cover basically shows you. She can see like demonic presences and always has been able to, and this guy is also a demon and says that he'll protect her if she marries him, because demons get more power if they marry people like her, or if they kill people like her, like eat them basically. So he's like, you have to be my wife if you want to live, and it's super rapey, like not joking, would not recommend at all. I do not know what that was about, if you heard the door slam. I gave it 2 stars, I think, because I liked the art. That's it. I will never pick another one up again. I also read this one, Summer, by Jillian Tamaki and Mariko Tamaki, and I really liked it. It's a slice of life, coming of age story about a girl and her 2 parents that have like a lakeside house that they go to in the summer, and her like summer childhood friend that they only see each other at this lake. And they're kind of at the point in their life where they're like, you know, they talk about getting boobs and like liking boys or whatever, and the main girl gets a crush on one of the clerks that works at like the local shop. And I kind of related to it in the fact that when I grew up, my parents had a cottage in Canada. They're Canadian, and we used to go up in the summer for a couple weeks and visit all my grandparents and cousins and family, and then we'd spend a week at this cottage. And it also had a little shop across the bay that we would like boat to and rent a movie, which is what they do, and we'd pick candy, which is what they do, and it just kind of brought me back. I gave it 4 stars because I mean, the girls are like, I don't even know what age they are, probably 10, 11, 12, I think 12. So there's a lot of like girl on girl hate, but I think at that age you're still figuring out verbiage and who you are, and a way to do that is to tear other people down. And I'm not saying that's right, but for the age group that they are, it made sense. And I think I really enjoy slice of life, and I really enjoy coming of age stories, but there were like some loose ends that I wish had been explored a little bit more. So it wasn't a full 5-star, but I did enjoy it. I also finished Death Note, finally, volume 6. It is over. I really enjoyed the ending. I think one of my biggest complaints about the last few bind up is that there weren't as much interaction with the Shinigamis, and part of the story for me was Ryuk and Rem, and just the Shinigamis were like the fun fantasy aspect of it, and there just wasn't as much interaction in the last like 4, 5, and 6, I don't think. So like the second half of the series. So that's one complaint. But I gave overall the series is a 5-star for me. I think the worst happened was like a 4 maybe, and I don't even remember. I think it was the bind up of 4. But I like the ending. I like how they brought it all together. I like the wrap up. The ending was a little like, there's an ending and then there's like a tiny little post ending with specific characters' theory, and it made me wonder. So now I like need to look more into that ending, the secondary ending I'll call it, and see if there was something meant that I missed. But that's that. I am currently almost done with Princess Jellyfish Volume 3. I really enjoyed the series. It's just fun and weird, and I can't get too far into it because at this point it'd be spoilers, but I've told you guys about it before, so I won't really get into it, but a group of girls that need to fight for their apartment building because a developer wants to tear it down and build a new apartment complex that will be like a richer, more affluent area. And the prime minister's son, who cross-dresses, wants to help them out because he met the main girl in this little unit of living and kind of like has a thing for her. I've used the word kooky before. It's kind of kooky and fun. Last but not least, I finished Descendant of the Crane by Joan He. It took me almost 2 weeks to read. I finally just kind of bucked up and read through probably 200 pages in a day. It's like a 400-page book, so I was just like, you know what, commit to it, do it. I was really looking forward to this, and I ultimately gave it a 4-star, though I did kind of teeter on a 3-star. The pacing is really my biggest problem, and that is to say that it moves slowly sometimes and then too fast other times, and my brain couldn't catch up when it would move fast. Like, you'd have a scene going on and then suddenly his scene would be doing something completely different in another room, but there was no like page break, and I was like, wait, did I miss something? And then other times it just kind of droned on, and I think the pacing is why I slowed down in reading it, why it took 2 weeks. But it's a debut novel, and I don't know if that is why I moved to a 4-star from a 3-star. The ending is good. Half the time I didn't really know where the plot was going, and the other half of the time where I had an idea of it, like, that's not what ended up happening. So I really did appreciate the ending. I didn't see it coming, but a lot of the time I didn't really know what the point of the story was because of the pacing. It all comes down to the pacing, I think. But I really liked Joan He's writing style, and I liked her characters. I really cared about them, and then even when I hated them, I still liked them. So I think it's worth checking out, especially as a debut novel. This is some good stuff, and I can't wait to see what comes from Joan He later. So I do recommend it. Was I a little disappointed? Yes, for the first half I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna like this book. So ultimately a 4-star is not bad. And I lied, this isn't the last update, because I'm also reading Warcross, and I'm over a third through. I think I'm close to 40% through, because I'm reading it in ebook format right now, so I just get it in when I can, and I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. That's basically all I'll say about that right now, is it's a lot of fun. So I would like to finish that, and also finish The Bone Witch before May is out. That's my main goal. I really wanted to read one of the 2 Zen Cho books because she's Malaysian, and that would be an extra Asian culture that I have not touched on yet in May. I've obviously read a lot of Japanese books because of the manga and the graphic novels. So if I get to another book after Warcross and after The Bone Witch, then it would be one of the Zen Cho books. But we're almost in June, and in June I'm going to try and primarily read either books from queer authors or books about queer individuals, because it is LGBTQ Pride Month all of June. I don't know if you guys care right now, but I probably won't be doing many readathons. I might do the summerathon at the end of June, but I think I need a break from readathons and to just kind of relax and read, so I'm not like worried and stressed about not hitting any goals, as I have kind of been this month. And with sickness and all that stuff, it's just not worth it. In any case, I think that's it for me, update-wise. I'm gonna go downstairs and make breakfast because it's 8:20 in the morning and I've been up for 2.5 hours already, and I haven't eaten and I'm hungry. I'm gonna read some Princess Jellyfish and some Bone Witch maybe, because I think once I'm done with Princess Jellyfish, I'll call that for the PanelAthon. I may read American Gods, but I'm not really rushing for it. I'd rather get some novels in than pack on more graphic novels just for the sake of doing so. All right, that's it for me. See you later. Bye. Take 2, because I had a cough fit. It's Monday, the 27th, if I'm not mistaken, which means that the PanelAthon ends today. My vlog is done for the week. I've edited a lot of it, so this will be the last part to edit, I think, before I can get it uploaded for you guys. So here's an update from the last time. I finished Princess Jellyfish. I gave it a 5-star. I absolutely love the series so much. That was only volume 3, and I do believe they're bind-ups just like Death Note, so there's like 2 volumes per. I added the whole series to my Amazon wishlist because the entire series comes out in a box set in June. It's a little pricey, so I probably won't buy it anytime soon, but it'll be good for like when my husband wants to get like our anniversary gift or Christmas, because the covers are so pretty and they would look really good on my very sparse manga and graphic novel shelf way up there. In any case, really loving where the series is going and the friendships and the growth of characters. Super great. I highly recommend checking out Princess Jellyfish if you haven't yet. So when I finished that, I had said in my previous update that I would like to finish The Bone Witch. Did I talk about The Bone Witch? I didn't. I talked about Descendant of the Crane. So I did with The Bone Witch what I'd done with Descendant of the Crane, and I had started on page 113, like that's where I'd left off, and I read it in basically 24 hours, the rest of the, and it's a just over 400-page book. Not really the smallest book. I couldn't tell how I felt about it, like what I was gonna rate it while I was reading it, but I ended up giving it a 4-star, and I want to read the next one, but I know like it's pretty inexpensive on Amazon right now and I could get it, but I've gotten a lot of books this month, so I don't want to buy it yet. And also I know for a fact that I wouldn't get to it in June or right now, so I just am not gonna. I just got all my face oils on it. I put my squalene on and then rub my face on my book. But I'm intrigued to see where this goes. And I think I know the third one is out, but I don't think it's in paperback, and because this is paperback and I'll get the second one in paperback, I don't want to get the third one yet. So again, I am not rushing, but I do intend to carry on in the series. This is about a necromancer who finds out she's a necromancer by raising her brother from the dead at his funeral. And because of that, like, this world does have magic, and everyone has like a heart's glass that they wear on their chest that like certain magical people can read, that kind of thing. She becomes an apprentice to another bone witch. A bone witch and a necromancer, same thing. And it was a little slow paced. The pacing is why it wasn't as good and why I put it down for a little while, because it did get really slow in parts, and a lot of the time I wasn't sure I cared, honestly. But when it gets down to it, I think part of it was my mood this month, and I think that PanelAthon really helped break up what I had been stuck in, which was like I just didn't feel like reading. And it helped to get back to like when I read Descendant of the Crane and I just sat down and was like, just do it, just sit down and read it. Then I did the same for The Bone Witch, and I think I'm back on my game. So that said, 4-star. I'm also currently reading Warcross by Marie Lu, but I haven't gotten any further than the like 45% I think I checked in with last time. I guess that's a little bit further than I was, but I'm not even halfway through yet. But I do have like, what, 4 days to get through it, and I think I can do it. I'm really, really liking it. I've been reading it only at night when I lay in bed, so I get a chapter or 2 done, which isn't really that much. And last night I didn't read because for the first time, for any of you guys who have been following my stomach issue drama, for the first time in a couple months, I'd say I had, and at least from the first time since I saw a doctor, I had a really bad stomach attack last night. So I was able to take the medication I was given for the first time, and is a blessing. What normally makes me feel sick for 6+ hours was done in less than 2. Hallelujah. Hopefully that's all it takes, is just having like an as needed medicine for the rest of my life, I suppose. So I didn't read because I didn't feel good. I went to bed at like 9:30. That was my update for that, for any of you guys that care. So there's that. Then I, this morning, picked up, not this Zencho book, but the Sorcerer to the Crown. And I might give this one a try instead. But I read like the first 15 pages of Sorcerer to the Crown, and I just don't think that it's the kind of writing style that I'm gonna like. It is very wordy, and it is very proper. Like, there's no contractions. It doesn't flow the way that I like books to flow. And because of where I've been with reading the past month and probably a half, I don't want to push myself to read something that didn't immediately strike me. And I'm sad because I really was looking forward to Zen Cho's work, and I love this cover, but I think I might put it aside. And I know that it sounds crazy from what I understand, but I'm gonna pick up the Poppy War today instead. I don't think I can finish it in 4 days, but I would like to try. So that will be, that and Warcrest will be the last 2 books I think that I'll be able to get in this month to close out the Asian Readathon, because next month is LGBTQ plus Pride month, and I will try and read primarily queer stories written by queer authors. And I had my kids already pick their picks this morning, which I am relatively happy about. Still need to have my husband and my baby do it. I may participate in Summerathon, but that will be the only one. I know there's a ton of there's Read Your Gaze, there's like a queer lit readathon, there's a ton of readathons this month, but I just think that I'm gonna take it easy and read, and I hope that you guys are cool with that. My son's out of school in 2 weeks, so my reading will probably fall back a little bit in terms of what I can get done, because I'll have to have all 3 home, and the 2 older ones are harder to deal with together because they just pick at each other. Any parents that have multiple kids probably know that pain. That said, I think that's it for me. It was a pretty decent reading week because I got a big chunk of graphic novels done, and it made me feel very accomplished. And then I finished 2 books because of that, which made me feel even more accomplished. All right, that's it for me. I am going to go relax and enjoy my Memorial Day. Be grateful that I feel better. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your reading is amazing and that May has treated you very well. And I will close this out, and I'll see you later. Like if you like this video, subscribe if you're new here and would like to see more content from me. I have all my social media links down below. We can be friends on Goodreads and Instagram and Twitter. I will see you in the next vlog, guys.